Beatnigs were recently over here to do a European tour. The band, who say they're out to change your attitudes towards music, currently now locked away in a studio in San Francisco recording their next album.
There's a great responsibility that goes along with saying the things that we do say. There's responsibility to, number one, not being hypocritical, and number two, to continue to challenge and to continue to question our own sense of morality and our own sense of judgment of the ideas that we're trying to represent. So there's a certain amount of balancing and eggshell walking, but I've been a doo-doo disturber from from day one, so I'm used to sort of stirring up muck and controversy, and I have a problem with that.
Always here for a reason. I mean, everywhere else we go. To challenge people, to inspire people, to think about things as they are, and make a decision. Like, personally, I like challenge the audience to make a decision on what type of life do they really want to live. And it's been very successful. I've got a lot of feedback on what we do and what we say after the shows.
Do you ever feel that you're preaching to the converted at all?
Well, I think that when you're talking about preaching to the converted, like primarily at shows or performances, there's a lot of people who agree with what we say, but I don't think it's necessarily preaching to the converted, because I think it's important that people who have these feelings, who are in our society treated as outcasts, downcast, and a minority, I think it's important that we are all come together and able to celebrate at times these ideas. And it gives people inspiration, and it gives people motivation to then go out and say, yeah, you know, I'm not so alone in the world. There is 100 or so other people here who feel the same way that I do. I would hope that we weren't accepted by everybody. I would hope that there would be a lot of people who are enemies of us, because there's a lot of people who feel very differently than the way we do, and I would hope that what I'm doing would make them feel uncomfortable.
Well, do you think you'd get worried if you were accepted by everybody then?
Pardon?
Do you think you'd be worried if you were accepted by everybody?
Yes, I certainly would be worried if I was accepted by everybody.
Most of our audiences have been predominantly white, and they have been so for the last 4 or 5 years. And up to recently, I've been getting some comments from the audience in reference to that, where they were actually asking, how does it feel to perform, you know, as a black person or a so-called black band in front of a predominantly white audience? And they are also questioning, why was it that way? And so now that's something that I think that we will try desperately to change some kind of way. It's not something that we set out as a band to do. I mean, we go to different venues anywhere and we perform, and we really don't know who's going to be in the audience, but it always seems that way.
Say, for example, now the television was all yours, and you could say to people whatever you wanted to, not necessarily just about the group, then what would you tell them?
I would tell them to rethink about the values that have been placed upon them by an older generation, present-day society, and really think out whether or not these values make sense to you, and provide some type of real positive future for yourself. I would also ask them to try to find deep in their heart some way to show more compassion for other people, but more importantly for themselves, to just really think about what is their life all about and what is it really based upon. You know, are they some concrete ideas, or again, are they ideas that have been passed down from other people? And it's important, I think, to challenge those ideas, because they don't seem to work anymore. They just don't. They really don't. And people's sense of security has been based upon these old, antiquated ideas. And I'm not saying that they were necessarily bad ideas, but they're sort of used up and they need to be rethought out. You know, these are changing times, and the world is becoming much more challenging and much more life-threatening because at the hands of us.